the speech that got Patrice Lumumba killed. He spoke for freedom, and that speech signed his death warrant. On June 30th, 1960, as Congo celebrated its independence from Belgium, a young, fiery leader named Patrice Lumumba took the stage. He wasn't supposed to speak that day. The Belgian king Baudouin had already given a speech that praised colonial rule and painted Belgium as a kind and benevolent ruler. But Lumumba, only 35 years old, refused to let history be rewritten that way. He stood up, uninvited, and delivered one of the most fearless speeches in African history. A speech that exposed the truth about colonialism, ignited the hearts of millions, and sealed his fate. Segment 1, the context. Belgium's kind colonialism. Belgium had ruled Congo for over 80 brutal years. Millions of Congolese men, women, and children were forced into hard labor, especially in the rubber and copper industries. Hands were cut off for not meeting quotas. Entire villages were burned. By the 1950s, Congo was one of the most resource-rich lands on earth, but its people were among the poorest. When independence finally came in 1960, Belgium still wanted to control the Congo's economy, army, and natural wealth. And that's what made Lumumba's words so dangerous. Segment 2, the speech that shook the world. Here's what Lumumba said, and why it terrified the West. Open quote, "We are no longer your monkeys. We are no longer your slaves. We are masters of our destiny." Close quote. He spoke directly to King Baudouin in front of global cameras and exposed the lies of peaceful colonization. He reminded the world that Congo's freedom was not a gift from Belgium, but a victory won through blood, sweat, and tears. Lumumba declared that the Congolese people would never again be exploited, that they would reclaim their land, their dignity, and their destiny. It was raw, it was bold, and it was a direct insult to the colonial powers sitting in that very room. That single speech electrified Africans across the continent, but it also made Lumumba public enemy number one in the eyes of the West. Segment 3, the Western Panic. At the height of the Cold War, the US and its allies feared one thing, a united Africa aligning with the Soviet Union. Lumumba wasn't a communist, he was a nationalist. But his call for African unity and true independence sounded threatening to Western powers who wanted Africa's resources, not its freedom. Within weeks of his speech, the CIA labeled Lumumba a potential danger to the free world. Belgium plotted his removal. The United Nations, silent and hesitant, looked away. Segment 4, the betrayal. Soon after independence, the Katanga region, rich in copper and uranium, declared secession, backed by Belgian companies. Lumumba begged the United Nations to help stop it. They refused. So he turned to the Soviet Union for help, and that sealed his fate. Western media called him a communist puppet. His own army, manipulated by foreign interests, turned against him. And with support from Belgium and the CIA, Colonel Joseph Mobutu, Lumumba's former ally, took power in a coup. Lumumba was arrested, humiliated, and handed over to his enemies. Segment 5, the assassination. On January 17, 1961, Patrice Lumumba was executed by a firing squad in Katanga. His body was buried, then dug up, cut into pieces, and dissolved in acid to erase all traces. But you can't dissolve an idea. Lumumba's words, his courage, and his dream for a free Africa lived on, stronger than ever. Years later, even a Belgian police officer who helped destroy his body confessed, "We destroyed the body, but we couldn't destroy his spirit." Segment 6, Lumumba's legacy. Across Africa, Lumumba became a symbol of truth, courage, and unbreakable hope. He taught that independence isn't about a flag or a national anthem. It's about controlling your resources, your story, and your destiny. Today, his face still appears on murals from Congo to Ghana to Cuba. Every African leader who dares to speak the truth knows the price Lumumba paid and the path he opened. Patrice Lumumba was killed for telling the truth, but his voice still echoes through history. A reminder that freedom without justice is just another form of control. If you believe Africa's true heroes deserve to be remembered, like this video, share it, and subscribe to AfriFacts, because as long as we tell our stories, they can never silence us again.